Hey guys, good afternoon.
Good
Hope that you guys are all doing well. Hey. Hope that you guys are great. Towards the end of the day, we're getting closer to mid-year vacation, so hope you guys are excited for that. I'm going to share, as usual, our DLP for today. Okay, this is our DLP for today, February 10th. Only 3 questions. The first question involves correcting the spelling mistakes, the misspelled words. Then in number 2, we're going to choose the pair of words that are not antonyms. So another word for that would be, you need to circle the synonyms, okay? And then finally in question number 3, we're going to focus on circling the independent clause. And again, don't forget that the independent clause is the clause that could stand on its own. Okay, that could stand on its own. All right, so quick attendance, Ali?
Yes.
Good job. Okay, thank you. All right, so Ali's here. Adam?
Yes.
Great. Ahmed Rashwan?
Yes.
Hassan? Right, Hassan is not here. Mu'min? Mu'min? Mu'min is not here. Noor Mahdi?
Yes.
Okay, Noor. Usama? Usama? Usama's not here. Aisel?
Oh, yes.
Thank you. Are you okay, Aisel?
Yes.
Okay, great. Yusuf Landour?
Yes.
Okay, Fadia? Fadia? Okay, Farah?
Yes.
Great. Farah is here. Fatima?
Here.
Okay, Fadia just joined. Habiba?
Here.
Great. Hala?
Here.
Hana Magdi?
Here.
Hana Magdi?
Here.
Okay, Hala's here. Hana Magdi's here. Hana Hamdi?
Here.
Great. Hana Durgham?
Here.
Jana?
Here.
Judy?
Here.
Kenzie?
Here.
Khadija?
Here.
Lujain Ayman?
Here.
Lujain Nauman?
Here.
Great. Malak?
Here.
Maya? Maya?
Here.
Nano?
Here.
And Reem.
Here.
Okay, so my absentees are Mu'min and Usama and Hassan. Mu'min, Usama, and Hassan are not here for today. Yes, Hannah?
No, I want to answer this.
Oh, yes, of course. Okay, so let's start with our DLP. Hannah, my first volunteer. Please, Hannah, can you spell the first word correctly? The first word here is the word jealousy. Okay, jealousy. Go ahead, Hannah.
Jealousy. G-E-A-L.
G?
J, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
E-A-L-O-U-S-Y.
Thank you, Hannah. Okay, theory. Do we see here a problem in the word theory? Judy?
No, it's correct.
Good job, it's correct. What about nano? Number 2, signify.
Correct.
Signify. It's correct also, bravo. All right, what about symptoms, like the COVID symptoms? Shortness of breath, chills, fever. These are all called symptoms. All
Miss
right,
Kansa?
symptoms. Go ahead. Go ahead.
It's okay.
Who volunteered? Ahmed?
It's right. It's the I. We should change it with Y.
Good. All right. So it's symptoms and S-Y-M. Symptoms. All right. Great.
Miss Yasmin,
Okay. Yes.
Ufi says she's here, but she couldn't answer you because she was fixing her mic.
Okay, thank you, honey. Thank you for the message. Thank you, Nano. Perfect. Okay, so here number 2, we have the first word is averse. We hear you, honey. Averse versus supportive. Averse means extreme hate, okay, or dislike. And of course, we know being supportive is being there for someone, friendly and helpful. So is averse and supportive antonyms or not antonyms? Antonyms or not antonyms? Reem? We're not going to circle them, okay?
Yeah.
What about significant and trivial? All right, so here significant means something that is, who could tell me what the meaning of significant is? Noor Mahdi, please give me the definition for significant. Hannah Durgam, can you please give me the definition for significant? You guys, this is your DLP. You're supposed to be looking up these words using a dictionary while I'm taking attendance. While I'm taking attendance, you guys should be working on this, looking up the words that need to be looked up. So there's no need that while now it's time to answer, none of you have an answer. Okay, Maya, please.
Miss, can I answer? Miss, can I answer?
Miss answer ولا هنا?
Yes, Maya, please go ahead.
Significant means something great or like important and worthy.
Good. Okay, significant is to describe something that is of great importance and worthy. What about trivial, Maya?
It is something that is like less important and have a little value.
Less important. It has little value. So significant and trivial are antonyms or not antonyms?
Yes.
They are. Okay, so we're not going to circle them because the question here says to circle the pairs that are not antonyms. All right, the third word here, we have a combination between reject and repudiate. Okay, reject. Okay, go ahead, Noor.
Means dismiss.
We can't hear you.
Dismiss.
Excuse me?
It means dismiss.
Right, when you reject something, you dismiss it, you do not accept it. What about repudiate? Is it the same meaning or is it the opposite meaning?
I don't know what repudiate mean.
And this is exactly what we're doing. We're looking them up in dictionaries. This was your task since we joined the session. Okay, Fadia, please say that again. Exactly, it means to refuse to accept. Okay, so is reject and repudiate antonyms or not antonyms?
Anthems.
So again, reject means to refuse to accept, and repudiate means to refuse to accept. So that makes them antonyms? Are they opposite or are they the same meaning?
The same meaning.
So are they antonyms or not antonyms?
Not anthems.
Thank you. So we will circle the first pair. Deceit and treachery. Okay, definitions for both.
Lies. Treachery means betrayal of trust.
Good.
So they're not antonyms.
So they're not antonyms. Bravo. Thank you, Nano. Okay, they have the same meaning. Both of them means to treat someone with dishonesty. Okay, hiding the truth or making someone to believe that the lies are true. So both of them are a form of deceit and being being basically dishonest. Okay, 3. Let's go with Hannah Durgam, please. Here you're going to circle the independent clause, the one that could stand on its own. So what would you circle here, Hannah?
A company in Japan produces a false fingernail.
Good job. A company in Japan produces, okay, false fingernails. This is the continuation of my independent clause. How many subordinate clauses do I have here? Reem, how many subordinate clauses do I have here?
2.
2. Can you point them out?
Yes, that glow in the dark is the first one.
Good job. That glow in the dark is the first one. It starts with that. which is a relative pronoun. Good. And what is my second one?
When a person is using a cell phone.
When a person is using a cell phone. Bravo. And this is starts with when, and when is a subordinate conjunction. Good. Okay, so we have two subordinate clauses and we have one independent clause, the one that was pointed out earlier. Okay, thank you guys. I hope that you guys made the necessary corrections. Today, quickly, I'm going to go over beginning before we get into anything, the little historical background. We said that this novel is considered three things, okay? What is the novel considered to be? And give me an explanation of what the novel, why is it considered this way? So Judy, go ahead. Give me one.
Okay. I can't remember its name, but I know why. يعني. But
Just give me one that you remember. There are three. Give me one that you remember and explain why is it considered this way?
I know the name, but I can't remember it. But it's considered this way because it teaches a moral.
Miss, can I answer?
Right. Can you help her with the name?
Fable.
It's a fable.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Okay. Good job, Nano, and good job, Judy. Both of you are great. One gave the name, the other gave the reason. So it is a fable. It's considered a fable because it teaches a moral lesson. Give me another reason why it's considered a fable, Nano. Can you add on to her reason?
Because it brings out يعني bad things in political characters.
No, not the grasshopper and the ant. Think of Berer Possum and the snake.
Miss,
Okay, so
can I
what
say?
do we have? Go ahead.
They use any.
Okay, Nano, go ahead. You almost you finished it off. Finish it off, and then Hannah, you're gonna give me the second one. Go ahead, Nano. What is it? They use.
They use animals as character as
Good job.
humans.
As characters. Yes, as characters, and they are given the ability to speak and behave like humans. All right. So again, it's a fable because it teaches a moral lesson, and it uses animals as characters that are able to speak and act like humans. Okay, Hannah Hamdi, can you please give me another word that can be used to describe this novel? We said it's a fable. What else?
It is an allegory.
Perfect. Allegory. Why?
Because it is like the underlying meaning. It has political significance.
All right, good, because we said that it's an allegory because we see that there is a comparison, that there's an underlying message to it, that the characters and the people in the story are not just merely just normal characters. They actually represent real historical figures from society and from our history, from the Russian Revolution. So this is why it's considered an allegory. Good. And the third and final one, Osama, what is it considered? The third one, what is it considered? It's considered
Satire.
a satire. Why? Because what does it do?
The characters they criticize the real life and events, the society, for
Good.
example.
They criticize. Okay, good. They are criticizing a political system, and this political system that George Orwell, our author, is criticizing is is communism. Okay, and how communism was supposed to, everyone imagined it to be a certain way, and it ended up, or like when it was carried out by Stalin, it was carried out in a totally different way when he abused the power that was given to him, and no equality was achieved from it as they thought it would. Okay, so a little bit of historical background. We said that, of course, conditions in Russia were not great for the poor people, those living in poverty, the low and poor social class. They were working hard in unsafe conditions, working for long hours. Child labor existed, where again, children were obligated to work. They were not getting an education. Unsafe working conditions, and everything else was just all the wealth and all the prosperity was given to these factory owners. The rich was just getting richer, and the poor people continued to get more poor, and they lived a miserable life. Okay, and then the German philosopher, which is known as Karl Marx, okay, his idea of by a group of international workers, and they asked Karl Marx to present or draw a plan on how society should be governed. Okay, and he wrote the manifesto of the Communist Party, which represented the idea of communism. Okay, we know that Karl Marx did not live to see his idea or his plans being carried out. He died. However, people or the followers of Karl Marx, two groups, the socialists and the communists. Again, the socialists were the mild group or the mild supporters that believed in communism but wanted to carry it out gradually, okay, step by step, and slowly implement it into Russia. However, the Communist Party, or they called themselves the Bolshevik Party, they were the extremists, okay? They were the ones that wanted to do everything harshly, okay? So this group was led by Vladimir Lenin. And we also said that we're going to see him as one of the main characters in the story. And we already noticed that most of the political leaders in the story are going to be pigs, okay, which is ironic, like Nano mentioned, because usually when we think of a pig, we think of a nasty, messy creature, that is really not smart and not intelligent. But in the story, they're used as the intelligent ones. Again, this is ironic to show that at the end, they're really pigs. Okay, they think that they know it all, or they're portrayed as smart, but essentially they're not. Okay, so we'll notice that in the meeting led by the boar, old Major. Okay, and a boar is a male pig, an old male pig. Okay, then here we saw that again he encouraged them to revolt. And this is what Old Major was doing in the beginning of chapter 1. So as chapter 1 opens or starts, we see already Old Major, Karl Marx, is delivering his idea of communism to the public, which is the Russian citizens living in Russia. And remember, Animal Farm does not take place in Russia. It takes place in England. This is George Orwell's way of diverting the attention of the audience from actual Russia, okay? And it's in an animal farm called, and we're gonna meet it in the when we read, okay? So we just need to know that. Now, of course, we know Vladimir Lenin led the Russian Revolution, okay, and he was successfully able to overthrow Tsar Nicholas II, which was the dictator in charge of Russia during that time. And we said that the Tsar Nicholas II is equivalent to who? To the first human character, who is portrayed as a drunk man who was unable to keep control or to look out after his animals, just like Tsar Nicholas II was. We're not, remember, Nana was like, was he an alcoholic? No, it doesn't mean that. But again, this is George Orwell's way of showing that his neglect and how he was careless and how he wasn't showing any moral obligation or care for his citizens. Okay, this is Tsar Nicholas compared to the owner of the farm. Okay, so then here we see that finally, Tsar Nicholas II was overthrown, and after a while, we see that Vladimir Lenin also passes away, and then two people rise into power, and they fight over this power. Okay, who are these two people? Those two political figures that fight over power. What are their names? Maya?
Trotsky.
Trotsky and
Stalin.
Joseph Stalin.
Yes.
Okay, and both of them fight over the power, and we know that Joseph Stalin is the winner. Okay, he's the one who was able to banish Trotsky, and Trotsky ends up dead, and he's the one who takes over control of Russia. Here he is supposed to implement. Yes.
Didn't Trotsky the one who won?
No, Trotsky got banished. Remember, we discussed that Trotsky was banished.
Trotsky won.
Yes.
Stalin is the one who got banished.
Yes.
Yes.
How come, guys?
Because
Yes, he wrote in the PowerPoint.
Yes, and last
No,
session
that
when I
was
asked
the
you-
introduction here. No, I didn't. I did not say that. The PowerPoint
Yes,
here we discussed.
I last time we asked about the PowerPoint.
Yes,
I
she
think
did
he
ask
said
about
that it
Stalin.
was like I think he said
Stalin
that the
vanished
aim.
and Trotsky took control.
Yes.
Yes, yes. It said Stalin banished Trotsky, guys. It's right here.
Well, that's
You
why I
guys
asked
probably.
you back then about
I
that, and
said
then
Stalin banished Trotsky and took control. That means Stalin is the one that took control. It's very obvious. Stalin banished
Okay.
Trotsky and took control. It doesn't. You're reading here. Trotsky took control. You're reading this part. The subject here is Stalin. He banished Trotsky. Trotsky is a direct object of being banished. Okay. The subject here is Stalin. He's the one who took control. Joseph Stalin. He was the dictator of Russia.
Miss, I
Okay.
have a question.
Yes.
هو old major is Marx or ولا Stalin?
Old
ولا
major is
Lenin?
Marx. Is no. Lenin didn't even show up yet. This is where essentially at the beginning of the novel, where still the ideas of still being placed. Okay, so let's open up our. Excuse me, Fadia.
Old major?
Yes. Yes,
Old
honey. A boar is a
old
pig.
major?
Yes.
Okay.
A boar is a pig, and it's a male pig, and he is described as a boar. That is correct. That would be him.
Yes.
Okay.
Miss, I have a
So
question.
sure.
Miss, هو Mr. James in the novel, who does he play again?
Mr. Jones.
Yeah, the
Mr.
farmer.
Jones is Czar. He's not the farmer. He's the owner of the farm, and he is actually playing the role of Tsar Nicholas, the one that's
Tsar
in
Nicholas
control
II.
of. Yes, the one that's in control of Russia. So Mr. Jones of the Manor Farm. Okay, so this is the name of the farm. The Manor Farm is basically Russia. Okay, but again, George Orwell is representing it as a farm in England. Okay. Locked the hen houses for the night, but was too drunk to remember to shut the potholes. All right. Here again, showing his neglect and how he is not taking any responsibility for his animals, just like Tsar Nicholas II was neglectful and did not care for the poor people in his country, in Russia at that point. Okay, with the ring of light from his lantern dancing from side to side. He lurched across the yard, kicked off his boots at the back door, and drew himself a last glass of beer from the barrel in the sultry, and made his way up to bed where Mrs. Jones was already snoring. Okay, so here we see that while he's asleep and too drunk and too careless to do anything to improve the conditions of his farm and to care for his farm and his animals, what were the animals doing? The animals were plotting things against him, just like the poor people in Russia. Okay, Tsar Nicholas II was very neglectful, and he was allowing the poor to live in miserable conditions. What was the poor doing at that time? The poor was plotting and stirring up a revolution. Okay, going to Karl Marx and asking him for a plan. How can we improve our lives? How can we ask for equality? And here Karl Marx encouraged, number one, a revolution, and number two, he set up a plan of communism. Okay, so this is what Mr. Jones is. Mr. Jones again is Tsar Nicholas II. As soon as the light in the bedroom went out, the fluttering through the farm buildings, word had gone around during the day. The old major, old major is the oldest pig, and he is described as a boar. A boar is an had a strange dream or a vision on how to run Manor Farm. Okay, so again, old major here is Karl Marx, and his vision or his dream is the manifesto of the Communist Party. Okay, and this is his dream, and he wanted to communicate this to the other animals. It had been agreed that they should all meet in the big barn as soon Mr. Jones was safely out of the way. So they waited until he was asleep to conduct this meeting. Old Major, so he was always called, though the name under which he had been exhibited was Willingdon Beauty. Willingdon is the area next to the farm. Okay, so he was described as Willingdon Beauty. All this description is just proving that Old Major was accepted, loved, and respected, just like Karl Marx was. He had a lot of followers. He was so highly regarded. Okay, regarded means respected on the farm that everyone was quite ready to lose an hour's sleep in order to hear what he had to say. Okay, just like Karl Marx had many followers. Okay, who wanted to implement his theory even after his death. Okay. At one end of the barn, on a sort of raised platform, Rager was already ensconced on a bed of straw under a lantern. So the light is focused on him. So he's the central of attention. And he is on a raised platform showing his significance, okay, showing that he is of high importance. He was 12 years old, which is old for a pig, and had lately grown rather stout. But he was still a majestic looking pig. Okay, again, adding more respect and showing how, how he is a special pig. Wise and benevolent. Again, adjectives. Appearance in spite of the fact that his tushes had never been cut. So again, we're keeping in mind that he's still an animal. Before long, the other animals began to arrive, and we discussed in the character tracking sheet to please keep track of the names or the animals that show up and how they are described and their characteristics. Okay, first the three dogs, Bluebell, Jessie, and Pincher. Then the pigs, who settled down immediately in the front of the platform. Again, showing that the pigs are going to be the future leaders of the farm. Okay, the meeting is important in such way. Okay, in this way, the pigs take the front seat of the platform, showing their importance. Okay, the hens perch themselves on the windowsill, and then the pigeons fluttered up to the rafters. The sheep and the sheep and the cows lay down behind the pigs and began to chew the cud. The two court horses, these are important, Boxer and Clover. They are, okay, because they're big animals, and they thought they were very careful to walk slowly so that they do not step on any small animals that could be hidden or concealed under the straw. The straw is the material that's on the floor of a farm. Okay, so we could tell that they are very caring animals, and they care about the well-being of the other animals on the farm. And this is going to be their attitude carried out through the entire novel. So it's good to understand that from the beginning of the novel and to put it down in your character tracking sheet. Okay, now we're going to discuss Clover alone. Clover was a stout motherly mare. Okay, so Clover is a female horse approaching middle life who had never quite got her figure back after her fourth foal. Okay, so she has given birth to 4 baby horses, and a baby horse is called a foal. Okay, so get familiar with these animal terms because you guys are going to you're going to see them. Okay, again, a boar is a male pig. We know what dogs are. We know what pigeons are, chickens, horses. Okay, a mare is a female horse who gave birth to 4 foals, a baby horse. Boxer was an enormous beast, nearly 18 hands high and as strong as any 2 ordinary horses put together. So Boxer is a male horse, and he is known for his might and strength. Okay, so please put that in your tracking sheet. Okay, Boxer is known for his strength and how strong he is. Okay, he has the power of 2 horses put together. All right, he has a white stripe down his nose that gave him a somewhat stupid appearance. So Boxer here represents what? Represents ignorance. Ignorance. Okay, citizens who are ignorant. Okay, they believe anything that is told to them, uneducated. Okay, so again, keep in mind that ignorance is a big theme in the novel. All right, why should citizens always be educated? Because if you're smart enough to think, you can be able to tell what is right and what is wrong. But sometimes governments, they like to keep their citizens, quote unquote, stupid, so that they could fool them. Okay, so here Boxer, even though he's strong and he is physically capable to do a lot of work, the only downfall for him is that he is very, very stupid, ignorant. In fact, he was not of first-rate intelligence. His intelligence was very poor, but he was universally respected for his steadiness of character and tremendous powers of work. Okay, so here, or a citizen that is that works like a horse, okay, works a lot, very good when it comes to physical labor, could get any job done, but however, his disadvantage, or the only thing wrong with him, is that his intelligence is very poor, very low intelligence, and he's actually described as stupid. And the little stripe that goes down his nose made him even gave him a stupid appearance. Again, the idea of ignorance and intelligence here plays a role in you allow you know, if you're smart, you don't allow yourself to believe everything that you're told, and you can differentiate between what's good for you and what's not. You don't believe everything that's being told to you. Okay, and then here we
Miss, I
go.
don't understand Clover.
Clover,
Boxer and Clover, yeah.
Yes.
they're horses. They're
لا, we
horses. What
understand
else?
Boxer. Clover, ma, I don't.
Clover was she was just a female horse who had 4 babies. That's it. That's the only thing that they mentioned about Clover.
What
She's
is
a
the
female.
bottle? Sorry.
That her body, that she's, you know how after birth a woman's body is, changes. This is what the author is saying, that she never got her figure back after her 4th foal. So we need to understand that she had 4 babies. It's important to understand the part about the babies because it's going to be mentioned later. Okay, so just understand that she is a female horse who had 4 babies. That's it. That's the only thing about Clover. Okay, Nano, is that clear?
Yes.
Okay.
Miss, may I
All
ask
right. So
something?
yes.
Miss, هو Boxer represent class
Reem, I cannot
working
hear you,
class
honey. You're cutting up really
supports
bad.
okay. Boxer represent which class? يعني the working classes who support stolen?
Yes, all these animals are the Russian. They're the poor people. The czar is the one here who is, the owner of the farm. He's representing Tsar Nicholas II, and also representing him taking the goods and all the wealth from these poor people. So all these animals are victims. Okay, at this point, all right, they're victims of who? Of humans, as they mention, or the victims of the system that Tsar Nicholas was implementing in Russia, where the poor was getting absolutely no rights and all the riches were going to the rich. Or who are the rich people? The humans, and in their eyes, the humans, the animals think so. You understand? They're gonna now continue to talk. Okay, because who takes it from them? The humans, all right, or it goes to the rich people. So again, all the animals are the poor class, these people living in poverty, being stripped away from everything that they make or create, just like the poor people were creating and working in factories, and all their hard work and labor, the riches of it or the wealth of it was just going to the rich people. You understand, Reem? Reem, do you understand what the concept is?
Yes.
All right, perfect. All right, Boxer. Okay, we mentioned this part. Then we go into after the horses came Muriel. Muriel is also a very important animal. She's a white goat, and Benjamin, which is a donkey. Benjamin was the oldest animal on the farm and the worst tempered. That means he gets angry very quickly. He seldom talked, and when he did, it was usually to make some cynical remark. Okay, again here we need to understand what we need to really understand about Benjamin is that he's very cynical, and cynical means that he is very negative. Okay, so again, everything he sees around him is negativity. All right, he never sees the positive in any situation. Okay, so this is the concept of what we need to understand about Benjamin the donkey. So write down in your notes in the character tracking sheet that he's a cynical character or a very pessimistic one. Someone who sees the negative in any situation and never sees anything positive. He would say that God had given him a tail to keep the flies off, but that he would sooner have had no tail and no flies. Alone among the animals on the farm, he never laughed. If asked why, he would say that he saw nothing to laugh at. All right, so here we see that he has an attitude of just very serious and doesn't see the joy or anything positive. Nevertheless, without openly admitting it, he was devoted to Boxer. The two of them usually spent their Sundays together in the small paddock beyond the orchard. Okay, so we understand now that there's a very strong friendship between Boxer and Benjamin. Okay, and Boxer, again, he is the horse, the one with low intelligence, the one with the stripe down his nose, and the one that is very strong and is very powerful. So again, the friendship here, the first friendship that we see is between Boxer, who is basically low intelligence, strong, with laugh, very serious, and always has a negative remark to say. They will always spend their time together by the orchard, grazing side by side and never speaking. And grazing is when horses or donkeys chew on grass. So this is how they spent their weekends with each other. The
Miss,
two
I don't
horses had just,
understand Benjamin and Boxer's part.
they're friends.
They're friends.
They're friends.
Close ones?
Yes, they're friends, and they like to spend time together, and they would speak. Okay, they would hang out with each other on weekends and graze, eat grass together, and speak. Okay, the two horses had just lain down when a brood of ducklings, which had lost their mother, filed into the barn, cheeping feebly and wandering from side to side to find some place where they would not be trodden on. Okay, so here we see a group. A brood is a collective noun for a group of ducks that came into the meeting not knowing where to sit, and we see that they don't have a mother. They lost their mama. So who do you think are the animals that are going to take care of them? Obviously, the
Which
two
horses?
caring horses. Okay, Boxer and Clover. Good job. All right, Clover made a sort of wall around them with her great foreleg. And the ducklings nestled down inside and promptly fell asleep. So Clover is the mare, the female horse, the one that had four foals, the four baby horses. So again, we see that they're giving and caring natures of the horses, taking care of the brood of ducklings, and also they were very careful not to step on any small animals that were concealed or hidden under the straw. At the last moment, Molly, the foolish pretty white mare who drew Mr. Jones's trap, came mincing daintily and chewing at a lump of sugar. So Molly is another very important character. We need to know that she's a white mare. She loves to eat or to chew on a lump of sugar. Okay, we need to know that about her. She took a place near the front and began flirting her white mane, hoping to draw attention to the red ribbons it was plated with. So please associate Molly with the lump of sugar and the red ribbons that she designed herself with. We have less than a minute. When we return, we're going to pick up the reading, and I'm going to explain, and then I'm going to ask you guys for your feedback and asking you some questions for understanding. All right, so in
Miss?
4 minutes exactly. Yes?
Miss هو بس what is a mare بس؟
I'm gonna show you a picture when we come back for the animals so that you guys can have an idea. So that you can understand better
Okay.
with pictures, okay? So when you return, I'm gonna
Okay.
show you a picture of those. Okay, baby. All right, exactly, guys. In 4 minutes, 12:50, Will shall join back up again. Okay, take care.